I'm Megan.
And I'm Philip.
We are two young adults in our 20s living a very unconventional life.
And welcome to Outdoor.ish, a channel where we tell you more about our outdoor-ish lives, giving you a look at what it's like to live full-time in an RV while working full-time. All right, today we're giving you a tour of our RV from our patio because even though we have a 39-foot RV, it's not very easy to give someone an actual tour through it in person, let alone via camera. So we're going to be talking here about our RV, and we'll be showing you B-roll of it while we're talking about it. So let's go ahead and start off where all the magic happens, in the bedroom. And bedrooms are actually interesting in RVs, especially when your bedroom is at the front of a fifth wheel, because there's not actually a support there by default. So they actually make a little tripod thing, so whenever you're moving around in there, it actually shakes around the entire RV. If you put that support there, it's a little bit less. But we'll show you a little bit of a tour of the RV bedroom real quick. So on the left side, there's a slide, which slides in and out. And in that slide is our wardrobe. So there's basically a closet there with doors with mirrors on it. It kind of makes the room feel a little bit more spacious, that as mirrors typically do. Calm down, Butters. And whenever you're dealing with small spaces, making it seem bigger is typically a good thing. And then we have just various cabinets throughout there. We have various stuff in there, like towels and swimsuits,
extra bedding,
and all kinds of stuff. And if you take a look at our mattress, it's actually a queen size. And whenever you first get an RV from the dealership, you have a very terrible mattress in there, and it's rock solid, and it's
like this thick.
Yeah, it's terrible. So we had actually bought a very expensive memory foam mattress before moving into here. It was a California King. So we actually ended up using a turkey cutter to cut it to the size of a queen, so we'd still be able to use it inside the RV. And that was a pretty interesting process. You were pretty skeptical about that at first, right?
Yeah, I wasn't too sure how it was going to turn out since you're cutting through several layers of foam, and then I was kind of worried it would fall apart, but
it's doing all right.
It's holding up. We've been in here for a couple months at least now, so it's still holding up okay. So
yeah, and then along the wall across from the bed is a TV. We have that mounted there, as well as just some other stuff like laundry hampers and stuff. And then we don't really want to show you this because it's a mess right now, but there actually is underneath the bed a secret area where you can store stuff. And it's pretty standard in most RVs, just a secret storage area there. But it's pretty handy to put stuff that you don't really need that often, like winter clothes and stuff.
All right, moving on to the bathroom. Bathroom is pretty big considering the size of the space that we have here. There's even enough room for Philip to stand up in the shower. He's got a little kind of sunroof.
There's a sunroof there, yeah.
I don't know if that's what it's called, but a little sun area. And a lot of RVs don't have that extra height in the bathroom, so that can make it challenging if you don't have that. We went ahead and replaced the shower head in the bathroom. The one that came with it was just pretty standard, pretty meh. Hard.
Yeah, it's the 𝚂𝚘𝚎𝚑𝚒𝚘𝚜 multi-shower head. That's something that a lot of RVers recommend because it uses less water and it still gives you the versatility of all those options.
Philip also went ahead and installed a soap dispenser in our shower, so it just is mounted onto the side of the shower. And that way we don't have to have all of our extra bottles and things just laying around the RV, and that way it doesn't, flail all over the place when we're moving it.
All right, from the bathroom, we can go ahead and move into the kitchen/living room area. It is a combination area. It's pretty open, and it's actually pretty large in size. In that room, we have I would say pretty standard size refrigerator, maybe even bigger than what we had in our apartment last.
I would say it's at least as big as our apartment. It's not quite as deep, but width-wise, there's plenty of space. The freezer area is actually really big as well. Whenever I go shopping, I'm able to buy pretty much what I used to before without making a ton of changes. So
yeah, we don't have to really take concern with how much we're buying at the store in terms of what we fit in the fridge and freezer.
I mean, we do, but we don't. Yeah.
Also in there, we have a just normal standard RV oven, which, you might or might not know is very terrible. Takes forever to heat up, and then that's very small, and it's just not great in general. But alternatively, right above that, we have our microwave/convection oven. And the convection oven, very wonderful thing. Convection ovens operate on the principle that there's a fan blowing around the heat inside the microwave area. And that process of moving around the air actually makes it so that your food cooks faster. Or you could cook it at a lower temperature. Depending on who you ask and what recipe, you might either need to lower the temperature or change how long you cook it. Either way, it ends up resulting in, I would say, arguably a better experience in an oven, and definitely a better experience in an RV oven, which, again, terrible. We also have a very large farmhouse-style sink, which is plenty of room for dishes and stuff, as well as plenty of counter space to put coffee makers and stuff. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff that we put on the counter or that we really want to put on the counter, but there's definitely room to put stuff should we need it, especially for like preparing dishes and stuff for dinner.
The nice thing about the farmhouse style sink, it's just one big sink. It's not the half and half. I actually keep, for the most part, a drying rack on one side of it. That way I can do my dishes on the other side and then just leave them there to dry. I'm not taking up additional counter space as well.
And in that same room across from the kitchen area, we have a big TV as well as a fireplace underneath, and then some storage above. And then next to the refrigerator on the left side, we have a sofa area. And that sofa more or less is, I mean, it's not that great, but it's also pretty...
It's actually pretty nice. I enjoy the heating on it. Last week was pretty cold down here. So I definitely turned on the heating element on the sofa and grabbed a blanket, and it was pretty nice to be able to have that.
It's got a fake massager that just kind of vibrates.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of RV couches on your newer models, it's pretty much standard. And then right above the door that goes out to the garage, which we'll talk about in just a second, there's actually what's supposed to be a twin-size sleeping area that you access via ladder, but it's actually a very nice size storage area for miscellaneous stuff like video equipment, drones, and other stuff like toiletries and drinks and stuff go up there too. Anything that we need to access quickly but not necessarily need to have out all the time pretty much ends up there.
All right, next we're going to move on out to the office/garage. Out here we have our washer and dryer hookups. We've got a decent size washer and we've got a small spin dryer, so we do still have to put some drying racks out and dry our clothes that way, but it gets the excess water out and makes it dry a little bit faster.
Yeah, it's just barely damp whenever it comes out. And then, I mean, the reason why that is because you don't necessarily have an option for a dryer vent all the time. So in our case, we don't have a good option for a dryer vent, so we can't have a vented dryer, so we just use a spin dryer.
Mm-hmm. We also have a TV out in this area as well. We've got a small cabinet, and then where our desks currently are, we used to have a couple of sofas that you could flip down. It would be a sleeping area. We took those out, or Philip rather took those out, and he built us some desks, and they're actually really nice. They're still on the Happy Jack system, so we're able to move them up and down as needed. He's got his desk set up for his work, so his computer, we've got a printer there. On my desk, I do have my sewing machine, plenty of room for that, for doing, crafts or whatever work I'm needing to do. I've also got my laptop on there. And then we do have a couple set of drawers for various odds and ends and tools that we use and need.
And that goes out to the patio area, the most worthless part of the RV.
Are you being serious?
I don't really think it's worth very much. So if you've seen our previous video, there are somewhat valid options to make this more useful, but in our current state of configuration, it's not. So currently we have just a screen that can be pulled down. And in terms of, right now where we're at, you can see the sun behind us. That sun beats down on everything inside there, including my computer equipment, which makes it hot, which isn't ideal. So really we need something there that would block out the sun whenever we need it. Otherwise, whenever weather gets bad or whenever bugs get bad or whenever night comes, we have to pull everything in and then close up the garage area. And then also there's the noise. So right now they're mowing. I don't know if you can hear that or not. I'm sure that you can hear it at least a little bit. But honestly, I think that this isn't worth very much, and it's kind of a pain to put down. So I don't know how much we actually are going to end up using it.
And it's kind of sad because that's one of the things that we wanted, and it's one of the reasons why we went with a toy hauler. But that brings us to another point. We do have a couple of kayaks, and so whenever we are traveling between destinations, we're able just to slide them in the back in this garage office area, secure them down, and they're able just to travel that way with us. So it makes it nice for that.
And it's also nice because this is a multi-purpose area. Well, if you don't get a garage that you can use for just about anything, it's hard to make it useful for, office area. So now we're gonna go ahead and take you around the tour around the outside of the RV. There's not really much to see out there, but we do have an outdoor entertainment system, if you can call it that. It's just a TV and a little pop-out area. We've not used it once. And speakers, yeah. We've not used it once, and it's still in its wrapping, so if that tells you anything about it. There's the water heater and the furnace outlets, so that's where all the hot air is dispelled out. There is a basement storage area that goes through around to the other side of the RV, so that's pretty useful. We keep our Blackstone griddle in there, as well as some custom jack pads that we made. We have two 30-gallon propane tanks, one on each side, and then we have a little switch to switch between them. And then also in the front, we have the generator as well as battery area. We haven't done anything special with batteries yet. We're not into that hashtag solar life, but we might get into it eventually. I've got some special batteries on order to get rid of the lead acid that we have in there. And then moving around to the other side, we have two slide outs. So again, one of them is the wardrobe area. The other one is actually the sofa as well as the fridge. So those two are on the same slide there. And then on that same side also, we have another side of the storage area that also contains the water station. So that's where we have our black tank and gray tank number 1, the little pull-outs to open and close the tanks. And then also on the back side, we have the pull-out for gray tank number 2. Gray number 1 is just the shower and sinks and stuff. Gray tank number 2 is explicitly for the washer and dryer. That's the only thing that goes to it. And then also we have the black tank, which is obviously the poop. There's lots of videos about how RV sewer systems work, but if that sounds like something you might be interested in, maybe we'll do a video on that just to help you understand how your poop gets from point A to point B. Speaking of the plugs that open and close the gray tanks and black tank, along that side also is the actual outlet where your sewer and gray water go out, and then into obviously a sewer hole. And then moving past all the waterworks area, we have the gas station. So it is a gas station.
Yes, a gas station, a real gas station.
Yes, we have two tanks for gas. One is just for the generator gasoline, and one is an auxiliary gasoline tank, so that we actually have a gas pump on the side of the RV, so we can pump gas into things like toys. And back when we had a gas truck, that would be useful for that, but now that we have a diesel truck, it's not really useful for that. Also outside is 2 powered awnings, so there's an awning for the front half and the back half of the RV. We typically don't use those just because wind can destroy them, and they're thousands of dollars to fix. So we've been kind of scared out of using them with all kinds of stories of people having their awnings ripped off. But we'll put them out occasionally if we feel like we can. But the slightest hint of wind, we typically just retract them in as quickly as we can.
The spot we've been the past couple weeks has been pretty windy, so definitely don't want to leave it out.
So I think that's really about it for the RV tour. If there's anything else that you want to see, or if you have any questions about how we're living our lives in this RV, feel free to shoot them in the comments below, and we'll see if we can answer them for you. Might do a follow-up video if we just completely missed something, and who knows. But we're happy to help you understand what's going on here, and to help answer any questions about the different life that we're living. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, I guess a thumbs down is okay, but we typically discourage those around these parts. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to us. Hit the bell icon. We have some more content here coming soon. In fact, I might be posting a speech that I did at a conference about living full-time on our channel. So yeah, get subscribed. Lots of cool stuff coming, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the next video.